Some clerical things we need to take care of with these kind of things, and let me get started with that. The purpose of the Thiel College Athletic Hall of Fame is to recognize those individuals or teams who have brought distinction, honor, and excellence to Thiel College in the field of athletic endeavor. The three gentlemen you will meet today exceed that command by about the length of a McClimans drive. We will meet a quarterback who is the gold standard of team leadership and swagger. We will meet a defensive lineman so talented that he was able to make a name for himself on a defensive line that had two future Hall of Famers. And we'll meet a golfer who has more birdies than the Pittsburgh Aviary. There's something else that ties this group together, and that's our graduating classes. 1970, 71, and 72 is right in the middle of what many people are starting to call the golden age of Tomcat athletics. Let me explain. There are 115 teams and individuals in the Thiel Hall of Fame. Nearly 1 out of every 4 comes from the graduating class of 1969 through the spring of 1974. It was a time of team championships and individual heroics, truly a golden age. Now, I like to joke about my athletic career a lot, but I am not taking any blame for the fact that I came to campus in the fall of 1974 and that ended the golden age of Tomcat athletics. I wasn't great, but I wasn't bad enough to end an era all by myself. Unfortunately, I had plenty of help. We will also catch up with a couple of recent graduates who will be dry running their Hall of Fame speeches when they come back in about 9 years. We will get reacquainted with an old friend who I'm willing to bet has spent more time in the Bristol Bakley Gymnasium than anybody in history. And finally, you'll hear from 2 longtime coaches who will make you even prouder to be members of the Thiel family than you already are, if that's possible. At this time, I'm delighted to ask our 19th president, Dr. Troy Van Aken, to come forward and get us started on the right foot.
Good afternoon, and thanks everybody. Patsy, Les, and Don, congratulations on your induction to the Hall of Fame. I'd also like to congratulate the other athletic alumni award winners, Jim Jogi and George Webb, individuals that we're going to hear a little bit more about later. And also some others being recognized today, in particular Tim Taylor and Kelly Barzak. Oftentimes when we're recruiting students, or even when they're here, I'll often describe our relationship like they're our nieces and our nephews. We're not their parents, but we're there to be their advocates and cheer them on. Of course, I had to sit across from Tim's uncle, so I felt a little funny trying to fill that position here at our table. But they're individuals. Tim and Kelly are somebody that we really enjoyed a lot of their accomplishments. Were in the classroom, in addition to those that we hear about that happen on the athletic fields or the courts. And that's really what the Thiel 2016 strategic plan called for. And it called for an academic and athletic community that affirms through the athletic vision statement the National Division III philosophy that athletics are a vehicle to promote vigorous competition tempered with good sportsmanship, to develop and refine leadership skills, and to establish a lifelong commitment to health and wellness. Tim and Kelly embodied it. They were all American, but also very high GPA young people. And although I'm not their uncle, if I was, I'd be extremely proud of them, to be related to them. And I am very proud that our lives are connected. And that's the type of environment that we have here on campus today. It's young people recognizing today that they're learning lessons on the playing fields in addition to the classroom. And it's no surprise that we added 5 varsity sports a few years ago. In those past 5 years, our overall enrollment is up 13%. Our retention is up 9 percentage points. The campus is abuzz with activities. Even in the brutal cold months, the dome is active. I think this afternoon we had 5 or 6 rugby matches down at the dome, in addition to a couple of cross games yesterday. And it's young people doing their thing, things that they're passionate about, that complement what happens in the classroom as they prepare for their life that waits them after graduation. So I would encourage you all to come back. You know, we have homecoming coming up on October 3rd and 4th this year. We're going to be dedicating the first new academic building on campus. If you get a chance, walk over towards Rowe Hall, and you'll see the Dr. James Pettis Communication Center, the first new academic building in 40 years. We're going to be dedicating to homecoming, and just a lot of exciting things happening on campus. And we're preparing this institution for its sesquicentennial. It was founded in 1866, which means that in 2016 will be 150 years old, and we're planning a grand celebration that year. And I encourage you to stay very engaged with what's going on campus here, because we, in addition to the successes we've been having over the last few years, it's our intent to continue to have those types of successes and build momentum so that in 150 years we're poised for even greater successes than we've had in the past. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm always excited when history comes with faces. And today we're very pleased to have with us a special group of Tomcats, members of our Hall of Fame. Please welcome from the class of 1952, James and Mario. From the class of 1956, Ed Irwin. From the class of 1958, Dick Mamachak. Also from the class of 1958, Coach Bud Maines. Representing the class of 1969, Logan Cribbs. From the class of 1971, Linda Cribbs. From that same legendary class, Paul Satternow. From the class of 1974, Lynn Jones. Also a member of our Hall of Fame selection committee. From the class of 1976, Dan Phillips. From the class of 1988, Eric Garrett. And from the class of 1954, representing her father, Warren Rhodes, the class of 1924, Clara DeMaria. A couple other people we want to identify. Please welcome from our Hall of Fame selection committee, Coach John Dickinson. And also from the Hall of Fame selection committee, baseball coach Joe Schauer. Florida's looking pretty good right now, isn't it, Coach? A little nippy out there to hitting baseball.
It's playable.
It's playable. It's always. This is Thiel. It's always playable. We love it when this event is supported by our current coaches and student athletes. Would you all please rise? Anybody who's coaching? Anybody who's an athlete? Tomcat Athletics. We have two very special student athletes who both earned All-American status recently. Please welcome Nick Jones, who finished 4th in the high jump with a leap of 6 foot 8 1/4 inches. And Western Jake Lowry, who placed 3rd in the NCAAs at the 197-pound weight class. Please welcome our favorite athletic director, Mr. Jack Liefheimer, who you'll be hearing from shortly. And once again, please welcome our 19th president and #1 Tomcat fan, Dr. Troy Van Aken. Okay, we got that all out of the way. I think it's time that we honor some people. So with that, we're going to invite athletic director Jack Liefheimer to the stage.
Well, good
afternoon, and thank you so much for coming today. We appreciate it. It was a great turnout, and the food was delicious. It's my honor at this time to recognize two former athletes for the Thiel College Blue Gold Club Athletic Alumni Commendation. This award is presented annually to a former Thiel College student athlete who has been an outstanding role model and has made a significant contribution to his or her community through the field of athletics. This year, we decided to recognize two individuals because of their accomplishments, and we just didn't want to put it off. They were both nominated and both well deserved. So I'm going to introduce two gentlemen to you. First is Mr. George Webb from the class of 1967. While at Thiel, George was a four-year starter in football and track. He served as the art editor for several campus publications. He was a charter member of the fraternity Phi Theta Phi. He married his high school sweetheart in 1965. He graduated in 1967 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in art and elementary education and was hired immediately at Crescent Elementary School in Pittsburgh. In 1969, George was appointed as an assistant football coach at Westinghouse High School. And while as an assistant coach on that staff, their teams won city championships in 1970 and 76. George also served as a junior high track and field coach and junior high basketball coach. His track teams won championships in 1970, 71, and 72, and his basketball teams advanced to the city championships in 70, 71, 72, and 73. In 1978, George became the head football coach at Westinghouse High School, a position he held until 2001. His overall record is 156 wins, 82 losses, and 5 ties. He won 5 city championships and was runner-up 4 times. George also served as head track coach from 1977 through 2002. He had been voted Coach of the Year 6 times during his career, and he also received the Hightower Scholars Award for outstanding and dedicated service in teaching. He also received our House Development Service and Education Award and the New Pittsburgh Courier Man of Excellence Award. Needless to say, George has had a positive impact on thousands of young people's lives, and it gives me great pleasure to present him with the Thiel College Athletic Alumni Commendation. George?
Jack didn't tell me I had to speak. Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Thiel College. It's been a while since I've been back, and my wife and I had a great experience here. I was married in '65 as a sophomore, and we moved here on campus. Had a house on Main Street. The rent was good, $30 a month. You know, we raised our oldest child was with us, so we had quite an experience. Everybody welcomed us. Cripsy and the guys helped us move in. So we have nothing but fond memories of Thiel and Greenville. And I'd like to thank you again for this award. I didn't know it was coming.
The next alumnus I'd like to recognize is Mr. Jim Yohe from the class of 1970. While at Thiel, Jim participated in football, wrestling, and track. Upon graduation in 1970 with a Bachelor of Arts in History and Secondary Education certification, Jim served as an assistant wrestling coach at Mercer High School for 1 year and then became the head coach for 2 years. Also during this time, Jim was an assistant football coach. In 1974, Jim earned his master's degree in history from Slippery Rock University and also took over as the head wrestling coach at Blairsville High School, a position he held until 1991. Jim's overall record was 184 wins, 76 losses, and 6 ties. He won 6 conference championships, 7 district championships, 5 district runner-ups. And individually, Jim had 7 district champions, 5 district runner-ups, 2 regional champions, and 12 state qualifiers. Jim was inducted into the District 6 Wrestling Coaches Hall of Fame as well. In the classroom, Jim served as chair of the history department and a short time also was the assistant principal. Jim taught AP U.S. history and became a reader of AP U.S. history exams, a position that he still does today. However, just as recently, this past year, Jim has advanced to become a table leader of his AP history exams, and he actually goes to a conference every year with one of our history professors here to read those exams. Jim retired from Blairsville High School and moved to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where he currently resides. And for the past 5 years, he can't get teaching out of his blood. He has served as an adjunct professor at the Horry Georgetown Technical College. There's no doubt that Jim has had a tremendous influence on countless young men and women's lives through his years as a coach and a teacher. And again, it gives me great pleasure to present the Thiel College Athletic Alumni Commendation to Mr. Jim Yoder. Jim?
Thank you very much. Very humbling experience, and I'm just very happy to be here. Happy to make the trip up and see you all. Thank you very much.
I forgot. I have one more thing I have to do. We also have another honor that we present at this forum, and that is called the Meritorious Service and Commitment Award, which goes to an individual who works behind the scenes primarily, who gives countless hours of their time, and in some cases treasure and so on. And this year we were going to recognize a gentleman from the class of 2008, a gentleman by the name of Josh Cialone, who all of our coaches and some of our athletes will remember. Josh, upon graduation, served in a dual role here in our maintenance department, as also in our athletic department as our equipment manager. Unfortunately, Josh wasn't able to come today. He is newly married and has a very young daughter, and his daughter was a little bit ill, and so they didn't want to make the trip up, but I will make sure that Josh gets his award. And I think that was it. I didn't forget anything. Okay, thank you very much.
I'll take it from here, Coach. All right. The Charles Evanoff and J. Lynn Trimble Awards are given to male and female athletes from the previous year's senior class, who in the judgment of athletic coaches best demonstrated qualities of scholarship, leadership, character, and sportsmanship, in addition to participation in athletics. The Charles Evanoff Award is named after Charles Evanoff, class of 1964, a standout for the Tomcats on the wrestling mat and football field, and a 2004 inductee into the Thiel College Athletic Hall of Fame. The J. Lynn Trimble Award is named after J. Lynn Trimble, former Tomcat volleyball and softball coach. Kelly Barzak was a two-sport superstar who was an even better student leader than she was an athlete. She was All-President's Athletic Conference in volleyball each for 4 years of eligibility and a 4-time member of the PAC Academic Honor Roll. When they put the nets away for the winner, Kelly didn't miss a beat. She just grabbed the basketball and proceeded to be All-PAC 4 times in that as well. We may as well throw in 4 PAC All-Academic Honor Roll awards for basketball too. She was the first Thiel basketball player to be named to the Academic All-American team. And just to balance out her trophy case, she took home the Academic All-American honors for volleyball as well. A 7-time member of the Dean's List, she graduated summa cum laude with a 3.88 grade point average. She was a member of the Alpha Chi National College Honor Society, SAC president, class vice president, and a host of other honors and awards too numerous to list. She currently serves as graduate assistant for volleyball at Muskegon University. She is unable to attend today, but is represented by her father, Joe. Please honor Kelly Barzak as the 2014 J. Lynn Trimble Award winner. Our Chuck Evanoff Award winner is Tim Taylor. Like Kelly, Tim dominated the field and the classroom. A three-time All-PAC defensive lineman, Tim holds the school record for tackles for loss in a career and in a single season, and holds the career and single season records for sacks. First-team AFCA All-American, a third-team Little All-American, a first-team preseason All-American for U.S. Football News, and second-team preseason All-American by D3 Senior Classic. He was a three-time Defensive Player of the Week in the PAC and served as co-captain in both his junior and senior seasons. Tim finished his academic career strong with a 4.0 GPA in the spring of 2013 and graduated with a 3.46 cumulative GPA and was a two-time academic all-district team member. Tim will graduate from Chatham University with a master's in biology and will enter the Physician's Assistant Program at Mercyhurst University in the fall. Please honor Tim Taylor as the Chuck Evanoff Award winner for 2014.
I just want to thank my parents, my family, professors and coaches, teammates, otherwise none of this would have been possible.
Tell you what, folks, I've been watching Thiel do sports around for a long time, and those two right there get as much fun as we've ever had watching two kids play. We will see both Kelly and Tim back here in about 2023 as their surefire first ballot Hall of Famers. But before we get to 2023, we have some men to honor in 2014. Patsy Combine came to campus in 1966 following an outstanding high school career at Sharpsville High School. A starter almost immediately, Patsy was injured in his freshman year but came back with a vengeance to finish his career near the top of 8 different passing categories. A 4-year letter winner, Patsy saved his best for last, and in his senior season he completed 51% of his passes, threw for 11 touchdowns, ran for 3 more, and passed for nearly 1,000 yards in an era where 1,000-yard passers were as rare as rock stars with crew cuts. 45 years after throwing his last pass, Patsy Combine still ranks 6th in career pass completion percentage, 7th in career touchdown passes, 7th in career passing efficiency rating. He has the 7th most touchdowns in a season, the 9th highest passer efficiency rating in a season, and his 6 touchdown passes against CMU remains tied for the most in a single game in Thiel history. Patsy graduated in 1970 with degrees in business administration and secondary education. He spent 2 years as a Navy Reserve flight officer, a year as a teacher and a coach, and 30 years as a key account manager in the wine and spirits wholesale distribution industry in Pennsylvania and South Florida. He is a member of the Mercer County Athletic Hall of Fame, and now is a member of ours as well. Please honor Mr. Patsy Combine, Thiel College.
Thank you very much. I want to thank all my friends for being here. Everybody helped me in the Hall of Fame. All the players I played with. A lot of them are still here. And it's just quite wonderful to be inducted to a wonderful school like Thiel College. Thank you.
Don Walters came to Thiel from Franklin High School in 1967 and made an immediate impact on a defensive line that already had 2 future Hall of Famers, John Tomlinson and Logan Fritz. In 1968, Don had 3 interceptions and was named to the All-PAC team and later was named to the All-Lutheran team. He was All-Conference again in 1969 and 1970 and was once again named to the All-Lutheran team in 1969. His 1969 season saw him intercept a pass, recover a fumble, and have 41 unassisted tackles. He provided senior leadership to a young bunch of Tomcats in 1970, which led ultimately to the 1972 PAC championship. Don graduated from Thiel with a history degree and earned his master's degree in communications from Clarion. He taught in the Union School District from 1971 until his retirement in 2007. It is with pleasure and pride that I ask you to honor Mr. Don Walters, Thiel College Hall of Fame.
Be here.
I look back and I see good friends, past players here, and just a humbling experience that I attended. Tomorrow's my 65th birthday, what present. I'd like to thank Thiel College for giving me the opportunity to teach for 36 years, and I enjoyed every one of them. I officiated for 38 years now, and I'm still active in it, and I couldn't have done it if I wouldn't have had the football experience. I thank you, Coach Maines, Coach Dickerson out there, of course, Coach Petraka, Coach McCullough, Coach Berry are not with us anymore. But thank you very much, coaches. Thank you, Thiel College. I appreciate it.
Golfer Les McClimans arrived at Thiel in 1968, fresh out of Grove City High School. A four-year letter winner, Les came of age during the 1970 season when he led the Tomcats to their first ever PAC championship with his fourth place finish in the conference tournament. He was named to his first all-PAC team that season as well, but Les McClimans was just getting started. He led the Tomcats back to defend their title in 1971, and defend it they did. Les again led the way by shooting a 155 over 36 holes to win medalist honors and another all-PAC selection. He finished the dual season that year with a 14-1 record. Tomcats stormed back in 1972 looking for the three-peat, and once again it was Les McClimans leading the way. With a fifth place overall finish, and the Tomcats had their third straight PAC title, and McClimans had his third straight all-PAC honor. The 72 Tomcats were also the first Thiel team invited to play in the NCAA College Division Golf Championship. Say it with me now, golden age, Tomcat athletics. Les took his accounting degree and put it to good use as his business career matched his golf career, and he climbed the leaderboard to his current spot as Vice President of Sales for Symmetry Surgical. He never lost his love for the game and even took a tour as golf pro at the National Golf and Athletic Club. Please join me in honoring Mr. Les McClimans, Thiel College Hall of Fame.
I'm honored to be here and very blessed, and I want to thank the Thiel College Athletic Hall of Fame. I know Jack, Don, and President Van Aken. Really thank you for this award. And I'm sharing this night with my wife Tracy, who's been so supportive of me and our family. And I had two friends show up today, high school buddies, played on the high school golf team with them, Dave Aiken and Dennis Emanuel, which I didn't know they were coming, so we're glad to have you too. We were having dinner last night, and I told my wife, I said, I'm sure glad this is an athletic Hall of Fame and not an academic Hall of Fame. She agreed. But, really have some fond memories of Greenville. My grandparents lived at 18 Bessemer for 60 years. My mother and father were next door neighbors before they were married. Both attended Thiel College. And I remember going to Bonsi's, a little grocery, Hub's men's store to get a jacket, and out to the Greenville Country Club for the Sunday dinners. So I have some really fond memories. The fall of 1968, I started at Thiel, and when I signed up, I knew I was going to like this. And I got home from Christmas break. I started out at 140. I ended up, I was weighing 180 pounds, and not a lot of my friends knew me when I got home. Spring of 1969, Coach McCullough assembled our golf team, and we had a lot of great guys. Joe Bonart, John Slaughter, Chris Fry, Terry Allen, Tom Kilner, and my roommate and teammate of 4 years, Bill Crawford. And Bill has been a close friend for 45 years. We have dinner once or twice a year, and every time they bring that bill, Bill hasn't changed. He's never around when the tab comes. So but I like that. Coach McCullough, you know, what a great friend and coach. You know, he made us learn how to win. And, you know, we had 3 PAC championships and we were invited to the NCAAs for 2 years. So he was the driving force behind that. My greatest influence was my father. And just a great guy. I wanted to be like him. An encourager, he had patience, he had time, picked me up when I failed, which I did quite regularly, and but wanted to be like him. And I want to thank you, Thiel. This has been a great time, and I've had a great time at Thiel. And as you get older, the trophies and the awards don't come as often. And so this is very special. Thank you very much.
We have one other note to pass along from a proud alum. Please relay my congratulations to Patsy Combine and Don Walters for their induction into the Thiel College Athletic Hall of Fame. Also, congratulations to Jimmy Odie for his athletic alumni commendation. Patsy, Don, and I were teammates on the 1967 PAC Champions football squad. I played outside right linebacker, and Don played the other side. We were both freshmen and members of Thiel's class of 1971. I left Thiel at the end of my freshman year to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, where I played football for 4 more years before graduating in 1972. I look back on that 1967 football season with fond memories and lots of pride having been a Thiel Tomcat and been part of a great team. Kudos to Patsy, Don, and Jim. With warmest regards, Lieutenant Colonel Dave Carlson, retired. Once a Tomcat, always a Tomcat. Thank you, Colonel Carlson, for your kind thoughts. To make these proceedings official, please welcome back President Van Aken for the proclamation of induction.
Patsy, Floss, and Don, please rise. Be it known, on this, the 23rd day of March, in the year of our Lord, 2014, we are gathered here on the campus of Thiel College in Greenville, Pennsylvania, to enshrine Patsy Combine, Don Walters, and Les McClimans into the Thiel College Athletic Hall of Fame. This action publicly proclaims those principles and values inherent in and enriched by the Thiel College experience as exemplified in the lives and careers of the aforesaid. They, by this induction, bring honor not only to themselves and their families, but to their alma mater as well. May their accomplishments, here recognized, serve as a lasting challenge for our future generations to discover the best that lies within their hearts and minds, and through disciplined pursuit, achieve excellence of the highest order. As the 19th president of Thiel College, I hereby declare that they are now enshrined as members of the Thiel College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Looks like we've given out all the awards we planned to, so I guess it's time for some thank yous. Thanks to AVI for another wonderful dinner. We always appreciate Jerry and Karen and their staff. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for another group of exceptional representatives to the Hall of Fame. Thanks to our Hall of Famers who showed up to help honor one of their own today. Thanks to Athletic Director Jack McClimans for the dignity and class he brings to our athletic programs. And finally, thanks to President Van Aken and his incredible staff. You allow us to continue to be proud alums with all the good work you folks do here every day. Will the award winners please come forward to get some pictures taken at the stage, and thank you and have a safe journey home.